Here's one question I always get from people who want to network better. Here's the question. Well, Walter, why are some people better at networking than others? Now, I think a lot of it has to do with personality, but here's one thing we all can do better when we network. One of the biggest issues I had when I left sports and got into the real world and went to networking events, most people that go to network, they're all about themselves. What am I going to get? And they walk around a room almost like piranhas, looking to just suck the blood out of everybody in the room to promote their own interest. If you think about it, success in many cases is counterintuitive to what most of us do. Now, when I'm around wealthy people, most wealthy people are very generous. When I'm around people who struggle with life, in many cases, they're very stingy, kind of tight-knit, they're tightwad. So that's counterintuitive. And you might ask yourself the question, well, they're rich, they should be generous. Well, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Are they wealthy because they're generous, or they're just generous because now they're wealthy? Most wealthy people I've been around, they really have a genuine heart and they love to give, and it creates a flow of currency. If you think about money, money is designed to flow. When people are kind of tight-knit and tightwad, it's hard for anything to flow through them, and it makes it difficult for them to be really, really good networkers. So with that being said, every time you network, don't focus on what you're going to get, always focus on what you're going to give. Because what I found with human nature, when you bless somebody else, they feel compelled to bless you back. They almost can't help it. Think about it, Christmas time, when you buy someone a gift and they didn't buy you a gift, they feel horrible, they're uncomfortable. Sometimes that's one of the most embarrassing things that any of us can experience. And when that happens, that person is committed somehow, some way to reciprocate the gift that you gave to them, because they don't feel good not being able to give something back in return. So when you go and network, don't focus on what you're going to get, focus on what you're going to give first. Now, at networking events, once you build rapport, it's okay to ask that person, how can I help you? Now, rapport building is the most important part of networking, and we're going to talk about that in the next video, so make sure you stay tuned. But once you build rapport, ask the question, how can I help? And see, in peer networking, there should be a constant exchange of information, ideas, contacts, and resources. That is a healthy networking relationship, an exchange of ideas, influences, opportunities. Now, there's another type of networking that we need to be mindful of that can be a game changer for you. I call it Big Daddy networking. In other words, you might meet someone in your industry that you can't really do much for them, but they can do a whole lot for you. It happens to all of us. Now, I had a recent experience myself. I ran into Guy Fieri, the host of multiple shows on the Food Network. I ran into him in the airport in Louisville, Kentucky. Now, I met him a month before I was about to host my own show on the Food Network. Now, it was gut-wrenching. I was uncomfortable. I had anxiety because I'm not the type that goes and becomes in awe of people. But I saw Guy Fieri, and I'm about to host my own show on the Food Network. I had to work up the nerve to go and approach him. And I know a lot of people suffer with confidence or anxiety, and sometimes it's uncomfortable going up to a certain stranger and just, manufacturing a conversation. But I could not let this opportunity slip through my fingers. So I worked up the nerve, and I went right up to Guy Fieri, shook his hand, and he gave me a fist pound. He doesn't shake hands. I don't know why. I think it's a germ thing. But I asked him a question. I said, look, Guy, I'm about to host my own show on the Food Network. He looked at me like I was crazy. He was like, what? It was just bizarre, right? And I was like, look, what's your advice for me as I host my new show on the Food Network? He said one thing to me that I held on to. He says, when you host a show, you have to be yourself. If you think about it, all the shows he hosts on the Food Network, he is very comfortable and relaxed because he's being himself. I held on to that nugget. And so when I hosted my show, Giving You the Business on the Food Network, that was always in my head. Just relax and be yourself. I couldn't do anything for Guy Fieri, but he gave me a nugget that I could go home and execute when I got a chance to have my own show. Jack Canfield from Chicken Soup for Your Soul, another Big Daddy networking opportunity that I had. I asked him about writing a book. He says, Walter, if you write 1 hour a day, you can crank out multiple books. I went right home. I wrote 1 hour a day, and within 90 days, I had my book. Those are 2 examples where I did some Big Daddy networking, got a nugget, and I went home and executed. So when you get a chance to do some Big Daddy networking, I promise you, in that conversation, they're gonna give you 1 nugget. Make sure that you take that nugget and you hold on to it for dear life and go home and execute it, and I promise you, you will get tremendous results. So there's 2 kinds of networking. There's peer networking, where there's a reciprocal relationship, information, contacts, opportunities, but make sure that you're giving more than you're getting, because if you focus on giving, you will get in return because of the law of reciprocity. But when you get a chance to do some Big Daddy networking, don't waste their time. Whatever information they give you, hold on to it like a precious diamond and go home and execute. Remember, networking effectively is powerful. Don't focus on what you're going to get. Focus on what you're going to give. And what you will notice over time, this networking will begin to slowly increase your value and slowly but surely put more money in your pocket. This has been Peak Performance Life. Make sure when you execute, don't try and take all the time. Focus your mind on giving, and when you get that Big Daddy networking opportunity, look for that 1 nugget and hold on to it for dear life, and make sure you think, execute, and dominate. Hi, this is Walter Bond, and I want to give you something special right now. Do you guys know that executive coaching is one of the fastest growing business segments in corporate America? CEOs around the world are seeking out coaches. Everyone understands in sports that you need coaches to reach your potential. But what corporate America is starting to figure out is that the same dynamic is true when it comes to business. So I don't care if you're an entrepreneur, I don't care if you're an executive, I don't care if you're just a professional who's trying to get to that next level, we all need coaching. So in our Peak Performance Huddle, we've created a coaching program just for you. And since it's a group coaching program, it's very affordable. And I think it's a no-brainer. You get to hear my voice every single day. We do a live call once a week. And inside of our huddle, in our portal, there's tons of webinars, downloadable information, all kind of tools that can help you get to that next level, because you can't get to that next level by yourself. Our coaching program is based on the 31 truths to boost peak performance. If you master, or when you master these 31 truths, I promise you one thing, we will increase your value. And as your value increases, so will the bottom line for you as an individual, but also your company. So why in the world would you not engage and invest in coaching? Peak performers understand that success is a team sport, and in the Peak Performance Huddle, you have a chance to join our team. Don't miss out. We believe it's a no-brainer, and I want you to sign up because I want you to hear my voice every single day, because I will recondition your subconscious mind for a higher level of success. Join the Peak Performance Huddle, and I promise you one thing, you will get every dime you invest, you will get it back tenfold.